Hey guys, so I recently finished reading the first book in the Dark Imperium series, and there was one little bit in here that I wanted to read to you before we jumped into this video. I'll put the words on screen as well, just because I'm terrible at reading, but sickly vegetation overran the park's paths. Trees had swollen into giants, their shapes corrupted into menacing silhouettes. People had been overcome by the swift growth and incorporated into their seeping trunks, the change happening so swiftly that it appeared they had no time to flee. Their limbs were trapped in wooden prisons, and their bodies hardened by lingam intrusion. They lived, though only through their eyes, moistened skin like bark, had movement, and they were wild and full of madness. From behind those rotting boughs, bloated heretic Astartes in filth-brown armor, their plague crackled and dripping polluted fluids fired at the emerging space marines. I did not know there were brown plague marines. So in light of this new information, I have decided to start putting together and painting a second theme for my Death Guard army, which is based on the Dark Imperium books. To give you a bit more of a backstory, basically there's the Space Marine crew led by Roberta Gilliman, and they are going to this planet to kind of rid it of Mortarion and his plague marines, because Mortarion put like some contraption on that planet which was spreading all of this like plague and disease and overgrowth of vegetation and things. The cool thing about this kind of setting was like the world was, prior to the Death Guard coming along, was like really pretty, and at the end they end up in like this cathedral where all like the floors are like marble and the buildings are real nice, and it's just like all this like overgrown theme of like trees and things, and hiding in those trees, camouflaging, are the filth brown plague marines. So I've been playing Death Guard for just over 1 year now, and since the very beginning I have stuck to a snow theme, which I have absolutely loved, and I still have a few models that I haven't finished, so I will continue with that theme a bit. But I guess one cool thing about the 40k universe that I'm learning more and more about is, when it comes to these factions, they are all over the universe fighting different battles. You have like these plague marines in Dark Imperium, for example, who are on this Imperium world trying to corrupt it. You'll have like my plague marines who are out on like a frost world somewhere fighting something else. And after reading this book, I really thought to myself, like, I want to introduce like some new flavors into my army, some more detachments, which maybe I could use for. I do want to try out like Kill Team one day. Maybe if I ever got into like smaller point battles again, just having like a completely different themed army. So taking a lot of inspiration from this book, I have come up with my new theme for my Death Guard army, which is brown plague marines, brown Death Guard, I should say, overgrown with like vegetation and kind of like so they could camouflage into the trees and vegetation around them, but then going for like a marble floor to like represent the clean kind of world that they're on. And I just love the contrast between like the dirtiness of the Death Guard and like the cleansiness of like clean marble floors, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what I can do with this theme. And also like the whole aspect around like massive trees growing everywhere, and how it's like how they're kind of like absorbing all the population. I think there'll be some really cool things that I could try out with this, so I'm looking forward to like the hobby side of where this new theme will potentially take me. In terms of this one, this is the only one that I've painted so far, and basically what I did for like the marble floor is there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube, and I watched a few of them, kind of picked a few different pieces from each of them, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. For the Plague Marine, I painted him brown. I used some yellow paint to kind of like shade over armor to try and make it look a little bit dirty. It still wasn't quite the look I had in mind, so I got these like really tiny 2mm tufts and glued them all over the body, and then I put all kinds of like different colors over them, like a few reds, bright greens and yellows, just to make it more lifelike. All of the tentacles and things coming out of like the Plague Marine's armor, I've made them green, so they're kind of like earthy, like vine things coming out, like poison ivy kind of vibes, I guess. And yeah, I'm really stoked with this, and I'm really looking forward to fleshing out like a whole squad of these guys, or even like different units in my army, and just having a second theme. In terms of the book, this book was a whole lot of fun to read. and it was really cool learning more about the Death Guard, you know, a bit more about how some of their characters interact with other people, how the Death Guard actually fight their battles. They sound like they are absolutely terrifying to go up against, because it's not just, you know, bullets and plague knives and things. The whole like plague and corruption side of things and how that affects the battlefield that they are fighting on is absolutely mental. I think it really ties in well with the contagion theme that we have with our detachment. Yeah, so that's just a little teaser of kind of what's coming up. I guess you could call this season 2 of Rocky's Gaming Lounge. Like I've said, I'm really looking forward to seeing what I can do with this new Death Guard theme. I still have so much in my closet back here, which I haven't painted. I've got even like a whole bunch of like Plague Marines sitting in front of me, which I've base coated, but haven't really done anything else with. So there are plenty of models I can apply this new theme to. So watch this space and let me know what you think about the new theme. If you made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. And I look forward to seeing you guys again sometime soon. I'll see you around.